These vegetables were grown less than an hour away from this wet market. But how does a war thousands of kilometers away make them more expensive? Many Malaysians assume that if we grow our own food, global crises won't affect our prices. But every plate of food has an invisible ingredient: fertilizer. Roughly half of the world's food production depends on it. And fertilizer depends on things far beyond the farm: natural gas, minerals, and global shipping. Nitrogen fertilizer, the most widely used, is made from ammonia, produced using vast amounts of natural gas. So, when conflict disrupts the Strait of Hormuz, the effects travel far beyond the Middle East. Almost 1/5 of the world's liquefied natural gas passes through this narrow waterway. Together with 1/3 of all globally traded urea, the fertilizer farmers rely on to maximize their yields. That matters because natural gas is both an energy source and a key input in producing nitrogen fertilizer. When gas becomes more expensive and shipments are delayed, fertilizer prices rise.
We do produce some of our own nitrogen-based fertilizer, but the local supply is still not enough to meet domestic demand. Therefore, we still need to continue to rely on imports. When there are import restrictions or disruptions to the global supply chain, definitely the availability of fertilizer is affected, and of course, the prices will go up. So even though our paddy is grown here, part of the cost of production of producing the rice is still determined by what happens in other parts of the world. So global markets really can hit our rice production in Malaysia.
Higher gas prices make fertilizer more expensive, while shipping disruptions delay supplies. For farmers, those delays can be critical.
Fertilizer is very important because the yield depends on whether the crop receives enough nutrients at the right time. If farmers miss the fertilizer application window, the crop may not perform well, and this can lead to a lower yield at the end of the season.
Multiply that across farms worldwide, and the scale becomes enormous. Every week, the disruption continues. The world loses enough nutrients to produce billions of meals. The pressure is already visible in global fertilizer and food prices. Global fertilizer prices rose sharply in the first 5 months of 2026, with the urea prices climbing above $850 a ton in April, around 80% higher than in February. Meanwhile, the latest UN data show that the global food price index crossed 130 points in April and remained above that level through June. When costs rise, they ripple through the whole chain: farm, transport, wholesaler, retailer, all the way to your plate, and the cost of living itself. Malaysia has not escaped these pressures, but government support and price control measures are intended to prevent the full increase from being passed immediately to farmers and consumers. The question is how long those buffers can hold if the disruption continues.
India and France are already seeing food price inflation as both depend heavily on imported commodities. Malaysia has been relatively well protected so far, largely through targeted subsidies, a supportive exchange rate, cash assistance, and its position as an energy-producing economy. For example, Budi 95 and Keep Ron 95 at a subsidized price at RM199. Likewise, Budi Diesel does the same for diesel. At the same time, the stronger ringgit has moderated some imported inflation. Importers need fewer ringgit to pay for the same quantity of foreign good. Likewise, households have also received further support through targeted cash transfer, STR, and Maisara. This protection reduce and delay the impact, but they do not eliminate it.
But the government cannot build resilience alone. The public has a role too. During a prolonged global disruption, households can reduce waste, avoid panic buying, and use fuel and electricity more efficiently. When millions of Malaysians make small changes, the impact on the nation is enormous. Malaysia cannot control what happens in the Strait of Hormuz. But how prepared Malaysia is will determine how much of that shock eventually reaches our wet markets and your dinner plate. Divya Ragu, FMT.